All right, so, we're diving deep today into the world of AI agents. You send us a ton of stuff, articles, videos, a blog post, even from Bill Gates himself. There's that fascinating piece by Sahin Ahmed on Medium, some YouTube videos too, one from VoiceFlow and another from Nick Peru. And even a McKinsey article. It looks like you're really trying to wrap your head around what all the buzz is about with these so-called AI agents.
Yeah, it really seems like you want to understand what they are, what they can actually do, and how they might impact society as a whole, both the good and the bad.
Exactly. And I feel like these sources you sent over really run the gamut from super optimistic to, pretty cautious about the potential downside. So let's just jump right in. First things first, what exactly is an AI agent?
Yeah, that's the million-dollar question, isn't it? Well, Bill Gates actually put it pretty simply in his blog post. He said, they're basically just software programs powered by AI, that can understand what you want and then act on your behalf.
Okay, so is it kind of like Siri or Alexa, but way more advanced?
More than just advanced. The McKinsey article actually highlighted that unlike those voice assistants we use now, these AI agents are designed to handle much more complex tasks, like they could manage your finances, book your travel, even potentially give you personalized investment advice.
Wow, that's a whole different ballgame than just asking it to set a reminder or play music. So if I'm understanding this right, it's not just about setting reminders or playing music. It's about these agents having the capacity to interact with a whole network of apps and systems on our behalf.
Exactly. And that's what has people so excited about their potential.
Yeah.
Bill Gates even used an example that we can all relate to. Remember Clippy, that little paperclip assistant from Microsoft Office?
Oh, yeah, I remember him. He was always trying to be helpful, whether I wanted him to or not.
Exactly. Well, Clippy was just a very basic bot, but AI agents are different. They can learn from their interactions and become more effective over time.
So they're not just following some, pre-programmed script. They can actually solve problems and make decisions independently.
That's the idea, and that's what makes them so potentially transformative. Sahin Ahmed in his Medium article talked about how they're already being used in fields like e-commerce marketing, customer service, things like that.
Yeah, I was reading that it's wild to think about AI chatbots that could actually personalize your online shopping experience or automate things like ordering and shipping.
Right, and some experts think this is just the tip of the iceberg. The McKinsey article actually argued that AI agents could play major roles in areas like healthcare education, even software development.
I mean, that's incredible to think about an AI agent that could analyze financial data, translate code from older programming languages, or even design a whole marketing campaign from scratch.
It is pretty mind-blowing, but a lot of experts think that with the speed of AI advancements, this is totally within the realm of possibility.
So then what is it exactly that's driving this huge leap forward in AI capabilities? Is it just that computers are getting faster?
Well, that's definitely part of it, but the VoiceFlow video and Sahin Ahmed's article both pointed to these big advancements in AI models, specifically what they call large language models, or LLMs.
Okay, so LLMs, I'm guessing that's the brains behind the AI agent operation.
Exactly. And the experts in the VoiceFlow video predicted that as these LLMs become more powerful and more accessible, we're going to see a ton of new applications for AI agents popping up everywhere.
So it sounds like we're on the verge of this huge AI agent revolution. But I thought it was really interesting how Nick Peru in his YouTube video talked about this whole thing from a different angle. He suggested that the future of AI isn't just about building smarter agents, but about creating better environments for them to operate in.
That's a really fascinating point. He even compared it to giving a plant the right soil, sunlight, and water so it can thrive.
So instead of programming every single action an AI agent takes, we might start focusing on designing these workspaces where they can access all the information and tools they need to learn and adapt on their own.
You got it. And Peru suggested that this could even mean that in the future, AI developers might focus less on coding and more on designing these optimal environments for their agents.
That's a pretty big shift in thinking, but it seems like one person who's totally embracing this whole AI agent future is Bill Gates. I mean, he's practically betting the farm on their potential, especially in areas like healthcare and education.
Yeah, he's definitely one of the most vocal advocates out there. He believes that AI agents could really democratize access to services like healthcare and education, making them much more affordable and available for everyone.
Okay, so let's actually dive into those examples a little bit. What does he see as the specific applications for AI agents in those fields?
So in healthcare, he envisions these AI agents being able to provide basic medical advice, triage patients, maybe even offer personalized health insights based on your data.
So it's like having this virtual doctor or nurse on call 24/7 That's amazing, especially for people in, remote areas or those who have trouble getting to a doctor.
And that's just one example. He also talked about AI agents potentially revolutionizing mental health therapy, by offering on-demand support and personalized coping strategies.
Wow. I mean, I can only imagine how helpful that would be for so many people who struggle to find affordable and accessible mental health care. It could really be a game changer.
Definitely. And then on the education side, Bill Gates sees AI agents being used as personalized tutors. They can adapt to each student's unique learning style and pace.
So instead of, the one-size-fits-all approach to education, every student could have a truly customized learning experience.
That's the vision. And he believes that these AI agents could actually help teachers do their jobs better by handling things like providing feedback, generating practice problems, even adapting the curriculum as needed.
So the idea is that AI would free up teachers to focus on the things that really matter, like mentoring students and fostering creativity.
Exactly. And there are so many other possibilities we haven't even touched on yet, but I think it's fair to say that AI agents have the potential to really shake things up in a lot of different ways.
Absolutely. And it's clear that this is a topic that's only going to become more important as AI continues to advance.
No doubt about it. And it's exciting to think about all the ways AI agents could potentially improve our lives. But at the same time, there are a lot of important questions we need to be asking about, the potential risks and ethical considerations.
Totally. We need to make sure that this technology is developed and used responsibly and ethically. But for now, I think it's time to shift gears and look at some of the specific ways AI agents are already impacting the business world.
Sounds good to me. Let's dive into e-commerce and marketing next.
Okay, so let's talk about something that I think impacts pretty much all of us, e-commerce and marketing. I mean, I already feel like I'm constantly getting targeted ads and product recommendations online. So what's so different about what AI agents can do in these areas?
You bring up a good point. Those personalized ads and recommendations we see now are mostly based on our past purchases and browsing history, which is, it's pretty basic stuff. AI agents could take personalization to a whole new level.
Okay, so I'm listening, I'm intrigued, but I'm also a little bit, wary. What kind of data are we talking about here exactly?
Well, just imagine an AI agent that could analyze not just your shopping history, but, your social media activity, your interactions with different apps, maybe even your physical location data to really understand your preferences and habits.
Okay, hold on a second. That's starting to sound a little creepy to me. Like, are we talking about AI agents constantly watching our every move?
Not necessarily constant surveillance, but more like, gathering insights from a much wider range of sources to create a truly personalized experience.
Okay, so as long as it's used to actually, make my life easier and not just to manipulate me into buying more stuff, I can see how that could be a good thing.
Exactly. And that's why, responsible development and deployment is so important. But just think about it for a second. Let's say you're looking for a new pair of running shoes. An AI agent could analyze your running style, your previous purchases, even reviews from other runners with similar profiles to recommend the perfect shoe for you.
So it's like having a personal shopper who knows everything about me and every product on the market.
That's the idea. And Sahin Ahmed actually highlighted how these AI agents could go beyond just making recommendations. They could handle things like plotting orders, tracking shipments, even resolving customer service issues.
Wow, so they could potentially manage like the entire online shopping experience from start to finish. That sounds amazing for someone like me who, was always busy, but I also have to wonder, wouldn't that put a lot of people out of work? Customer service and retail.
That's a valid concern for sure, and it's something that we definitely need to be thinking about. But a lot of people argue that AI agents could actually free up human workers to focus on, more complex or specialized tasks.
Okay, so let's switch gears for a second and talk about the marketing side of things. Remember how the McKinsey article talked about AI agents potentially creating entire marketing campaigns?
Yeah.
And that just seems like such a complex process to try to automate.
Oh, it absolutely is. Think about all the steps involved identifying your target audience, crafting a compelling message, choosing the right platforms, creating engaging content, constantly analyzing data and making adjustments. It can be a lot, even for a whole team of people.
No kidding. So how could an AI agent even begin to handle something like that?
Well, imagine you're launching a new product. An AI agent could analyze market trends, pinpoint potential customers, and even generate, different campaign ideas based on your target audience and your budget.
So it's like having an entire marketing department working for you 24/7.
In a way, yes. And the McKinsey article went even further. They talked about how these AI agents could then work with specialized tools to, create targeted content design visuals, even A/B test different versions of your campaign to see what performs best.
So they're not just coming up with ideas, they're actually executing them too. That's pretty incredible.
It is, and throughout the entire process, the AI agent would be analyzing data tracking performance and making adjustments in real time to try to maximize the effectiveness of the campaign.
That's mind-blowing. But I have to admit, even with all this efficiency and personalization, I can't help but feel like something might get lost in translation. Like, what about the human touch, the creative spark that you just can't get from an algorithm?
That's a great point. It's important to remember that AI agents are tools, and like any tool, they can be used for good or bad. We need to be very careful about how we integrate them into creative fields like marketing and make sure that we're not losing that human element that, really makes a campaign resonate with people.
I think that's a really important point to keep in mind. But okay, so we've covered e-commerce and marketing. What other industries do you think are ripe for disruption by AI agents?
Well, Bill Gates seems to think that healthcare and education are two areas where AI agents could have a truly transformative impact. And, he's not alone in that belief. A lot of people are excited about the potential there.
Healthcare and education, two huge areas with massive potential for AI to really make a difference.
Yeah.
Okay, let's dive into those next. All right, so healthcare and education, two areas that are, absolutely crucial to our well-being. You mentioned that Bill Gates is particularly excited about the potential of AI agents in these fields.
Yeah, he really seems to believe that AI has this incredible power to make healthcare and education more affordable and accessible for everyone, to kind of level the playing field.
And that's a really powerful idea, especially for folks in underserved communities who maybe don't have the same access to, quality doctors or good schools.
Yeah.
But how does he see that actually happening? Like, what would that look like in practice?
Well, in healthcare, he talks about these AI agents being able to give basic medical advice, maybe help triage patients or even offer some personalized health insights based on your data.
So it's almost like having this virtual doctor or nurse available to you 24/7.
That's the idea. And, think about how helpful that could be for people in rural areas or anyone who has trouble actually getting to a doctor's office.
I mean, that definitely makes sense. But what about more serious medical issues? Could an AI agent really handle something like that?
They wouldn't replace human doctors completely, of course, but they could act as a kind of first line of support, helping people figure out if they need to see a doctor or maybe just get some advice on how to manage their symptoms at home.
Okay, so it's more like they're a guide to the healthcare system, helping people navigate all the different options and make sure they're getting the right level of care.
Exactly. And Bill Gates even talked about AI agents potentially revolutionizing mental health therapy, which is really fascinating. Imagine having access to on-demand support and personalized coping strategies whenever you need them.
I mean, that could be huge for so many people who struggle to find affordable mental health care, or who just aren't comfortable going to traditional therapy.
It could really break down a lot of those barriers. And then when it comes to education, Bill Gates sees AI agents playing a really important role as personalized tutors. They could help students learn at their own pace and in a way that makes sense for their individual learning style.
It's like having a custom-designed curriculum for every single student. I mean, it sounds incredible, but what would that mean for teachers? Would they become obsolete?
Not at all. Bill Gates actually believes that AI agents could help teachers do their jobs even better.
Okay, so it's more about augmenting the role of teachers.
Yeah.
Giving them more time to focus on things like mentoring students and fostering creativity.
Exactly. Imagine teachers being able to spend more time connecting with their students and less time, grading papers or planning lessons.
That sounds like a dream come true, honestly. But I do wonder, are there any downsides to having AI so heavily involved in education?
Well, one concern that a lot of people have is that it could actually widen the gap between students from different socioeconomic backgrounds. If access to these AI tutors is limited by things like cost or location.
That's a really important point. We need to make sure that these tools are available to everyone and that they're designed in a way that's equitable and inclusive.
Absolutely. And that's just one of the many challenges we'll need to address as AI becomes more and more integrated into our lives. It's a conversation that we all need to be having.
This has been such a fascinating deep dive into the world of AI agents. It really feels like they have the potential to revolutionize so many different aspects of our lives, from how we work and shop to how we access healthcare and education.
Yeah, it's definitely a future that's full of both, incredible possibilities and some pretty serious challenges.
Exactly. And I think it's crucial that we approach this technology with both, excitement and caution. But I feel like I have a much better understanding of what AI agents are all about and what we can expect to see in the future.
Me too. And, I think the most important thing is to stay informed, to keep asking critical questions and be really proactive in shaping how this technology develops.
I totally agree. And to everyone listening out there, thank you so much for joining us on this journey into the world of AI agents. Keep exploring, keep asking questions, and keep imagining the future you want to create, because this is the conversation that's just getting started.